Welcome back to Greek. We are in Effort Chapter 11. We're learning the future tense, indicative mood, in the active and middle voices. And so you can see here, we've got the normal stem, the present indicative active stem, and then we add a sigma, and then the present indicative active endings, o, ace, a, amen, eta, usen. So liso means I will loose. Lyses, you will loose, and so forth. The middle voice is done the same way. Our stem plus the sigma plus omai, a tie, amatha, s, the untie. Note, however, that this is only the middle voice. The passive in the future has a different form. It's built on a different principal part, the sixth principal part, as a matter of fact. Whereas luso now forms the second principal part. So the verbs, just like in English, we talked about this a few lessons ago, the principal parts of verbs. So in English, I learn, I learned, I have learned. But then an irregular verb, I eat, I ate, I have eaten. So likewise, now we know two principal parts for the Greek verb. First two principal parts are luo, lio, and liso. So there's our first two principal parts. So we'll learn more of those as we go on. All right, other things from this chapter. Here's the future active infinitive, lysein, to be about to loose, and lysesthai, to be about to loose for myself. The middle future infinitive. With all this adding of sigmas onto the stem, if your stem ends in a labial, pi, beta, or phi, that adding a sigma to that gives you the Greek letter psi. Likewise, if you take a sigma and add it to a guttural, kappa, gamma, or chi, you're going to get xi. And if you take a sigma and add it to a dental, tau, delta, or theta, you'll end up with just the sigma. The sigma will cover over the dental. It'll just go away. So you need to make this a chart. Make a flashcard of that for this week. Obviously, make a flashcard of your verb forms, new verb forms that we're learning, the active and the middle future indicative. And then also we've got a new third class conditional. You should also make a flashcard for your third class. Oops, switch back to English here. Third class conditional. On in the protasis, you have on plus the subjunctive mood, and then you'll get the future tense in the apodosis. Usually the future indicative. Other things, as he notes, can happen here in the apodosis, but usually it's going to be the future tense indicative mood. Sometimes this is called the woodshed clause because it's would should. The example he has for you: if you should free the slaves, then he will see. Excuse me. If he would free the slaves, then he will see the kingdom. So make a chart of how that works. Also make a chart of your vocabulary, obviously mostly verbs, one conjunction and a preposition. And then study for a day or two. Make sure you've got these forms under your belt, you got the vocabulary under your belt. Then, of course, move forward in our next step into doing the translations. Then come back to the next video to get the answers to the translations.